Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Saturday, the 14th of September 2024. And we're publishing our gold and silver weekly update, the week ending the 13th of September. Gold and silver markets were much stronger last week, with gold hitting all-time highs a number of times, as we predicted in earlier videos published during the week. Silver, whilst being nearly $20 from its all-time high, performed spectacularly, rising 10%. What happened, and can we expect further rises this coming week? Well, let's take a look. Now first, just a quick reminder, we've set up a second channel entitled Finances Do Matter, covering a whole array of financial topics. We've placed a link in the description box and comment section below for those who have not as yet joined that channel. Now gold rose $81 last week, rising from $2,498 to $2,579, having hit a high of $2,586 and a low of $2,486, a rise of 3.3%. Gold spread between high and low was $100. Last weekend we said gold would trade between $2,450 and $2,575, which it did comfortably, but closed marginally above our top figure by $4. In sterling terms, gold rose £62, closing at £1,966, and in euros it closed at €2,330, that's up €75. Silver rose dramatically, up $2.89, rising from $27.94, busting through the $30 mark at $30.83. Having been as high as $32.11, I'll explain that in a moment, and a low of $27.74, a rise of 10.4%. The difference between its high and low was $4.37, though as in previous weeks the spike to $32 lasted around a minute or so. Its real high was $30.92, and so silver closed only just below its real week's high. Last weekend we predicted silver would trade between $26.50 and $30. Again, it did this range comfortably until Friday, where it traded broadly above $30 and closed some 83 cents above our forecast high. In sterling terms, silver closed up £2.16 at 23.49, and in euros it closed up 2.57 euros at 27.82 euros. The gold to silver ratio fell almost, not quite, but almost 6 points, falling from 89.4 to 1 to 83.6 to 1. Bitcoin is up $5,748 at $59,979, just shy of 60,000. Equities were higher. Dow Jones up 1,048 at 41,393. The S&P 500 up 218 at 5,626. The Nasdaq Composite up 993 at 17,683. And the UK FTSE 100 index closed up 92 points at 8273. That's 8,273. Oils were marginally higher. Brent crude closed up 60 cents at $71.61. And WTI crude closed up 98 cents at $68.65. As we said last week, if these prices hold at this level, they will undoubtedly reduce next month's inflation report. The dollar index stands at 101.11, down just 0.07 on the week, so broadly unchanged. Now, before we look at what happened during the week to cause such a stellar performance on Friday, we draw your attention to a more detailed report we published yesterday in a video entitled Gold Reaches All-Time Highs as Silver Surges Above $30, What's Next? This video focused on gold and silver, and we placed a link in the description column and comment section below. All week we published videos highlighting to expect all-time highs in gold, and yes, it was achieved. Interestingly, the CPI, or inflation data published on Wednesday, was okay, quite good, but not wonderful. It showed that year over year, CPI fell from 2.9% to 2.5%, against expectations of 2.6%. That was fine. But the core rate remained unchanged at 3.2%. Not so good, especially as government economists prefer using the core rate in their assessments. Providing oil prices remain at current levels, the normal rate will come down again next month, and we have to wait and see if the core rate falls as well. PPI figures on Thursday also fell from 2.25 to 1.7%, though its core rate fell only from 3.3 to 3.2. PPI is often seen as an indicator of future inflation trends, so this news was pretty good. What helped gold and silver further was the fact that the ECB reduced its interest rates a week after the UK reduced theirs. They cut their rate from 3.75% to 3.5%, their second reduction this year. However, the Eurozone is facing lower growth rates, and they have indicated that inflation may tick up next month or the month after, and so this second cut may be the last for this year. We're still waiting for the US to cut its rate, which is now guaranteed to happen on Wednesday. The current Fed funds rate is 5.25% to 5.5%, and today, at the time of producing this video, it's standing at 5.33%. We certainly see a cut of 0.25% this coming week, and some economists are predicting a 0.5% cut. We believe this will be wrong. Better to cut smaller and more often than larger and then regret the decision. That said, the latest odds show that there's been a rise from 28% to 48 or 49% of a 50 basis point cut. This prospect has further been boosted when influential former New York President Bill Dudley said at a forum in Singapore, quote, "There's a strong case for 50, unquote. So we have the UK bank rate at 5%, the ECB rate at 3.5% and the US rate of 5.25 to 5.5. So a 0.5% cut is not impossible to align with the UK. But as stated, we expect a 0.25% cut and then another probably in November. But we will know for sure in a few days' time. This coming week could be supportive of precious metals, though, as we have additional important data coming out. Tuesday, retail sales for August, expectations are a fall of minus 0.3%, so it's a fall of 0.3%, compared with a rise of 1% the previous month. Wednesday's FOMC decision on interest rates and Fed Chair Jerome Powell's statement. Thursday, US leading economic indicators for August. So all eyes on Tuesday and then Wednesday. In yesterday's video, we also assessed the potential geopolitical impact on precious metals, so do look at that video. Link below. So, what are we expecting this coming week? Well, frankly, it depends on Wednesday. If rates are cut by 0.5%, gold will hit $2,600 if it doesn't do so beforehand. Technical analysts forecast up to 2,605. If it announces a 0.25% cut but states further cuts this year, the same is likely to happen. If, however, it cuts by 0.25% and then states it's taking each month one at a time and will be hawkish, we will see gold retrench back to 2,530 with a bottom of around 2.5. The same may happen with silver. A 0.5% cut or a very dovish Fed will see silver hit $32. Otherwise, a retrenchment to 28.50 cannot be ruled out. Gold and silver closed very near to their highs, and this may follow through early into next week. Their rise has been significant, and whilst there is a strong potential for further rises, it would be a foolish investor to assume it's a foregone conclusion, at least short term. Long term, we're definitely positive. It really depends on the FOMC on Wednesday and what the Fed chair says in his report. Remember, often markets buy the rumour and sell the result. So, this coming week, we envisage gold will trade between 2,525 and 2,625, with 2,500 and 2,650 as outliers. And silver to trade between 29.50 and 32.50, with 28.50 to 33 as outliers. What do you think? Please do share your thoughts. Meanwhile, thank you so much for listening. We'd appreciate it if you would give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, press the bell sign, pop on over to Finances Do Matter. We're starting to rejuvenate that channel. Won't be long. Have a great weekend, what's left of it, and I'm sure those holding gold and silver will have a very prosperous week ahead.